Previously on AndyManCam.
Look at that beast. That's not a Triumph, is it? Oh, hello, Mr. Fonda. So you want your bike back? Yep, okay. We'll send it right over. To the road.
Magnum 100 girls, the biggest in Europe. I'm not sure having really big girls is a great selling point for a strip club. I mean, you're appealing to a very niche market there. Well, hello. What started out as a harmless test ride to make sure everything was okay, thanks to this weather, turned into the mother of all test rides. You could very well argue that the best way to test parts on a bike is not to ride several other bikes, but that's what I've been doing. So today I have ridden a Kawasaki Versys 1000, a Suzuki V-Strom 1000, a Yamaha MT-09 Tracer, and a Triumph Tiger 800 XRX. I've had a bloody brilliant day, but my thinking was it was good to see what a healthy chain and sprockets feels like on a bike. What could be more healthy than a bunch of brand spanking new bikes out of a dealership? But anyway, how does mine feel? Feels good, to be honest. I didn't really fully realise just how much noise the chain was making before. Clicking and crunching and grinding, and oh, it was terrible. So the auditory difference of not having that chain on anymore is fantastic. This one, I can't hear it. I can hear the gearbox again. Also, the drive is so much more direct. There's no slap, no slop, and no other words starting in SL, ending in P with the vowel of your choice in the middle. It's all nice and tight and new feeling. So that's that. A new chain and sprocket kind of, it's always going to feel like a new chain and sprocket. Everything feels tight and clean and quiet and smooth. Just need to look after it to make sure it stays like that. But the bigger change here is the fact that the gearing is now different. Originally on the Versys it has a 15 on the front and a 46 on the back. I've now got a 15 on the front still because I left the old one on there was nothing wrong with it, and a 43 on the back. Now the gearing gurus among you will very quickly be able to tell me that that means I'm now going to have reduced acceleration and less torque at the back wheel. And you're absolutely right. But that's pretty much what I was after, because since I've had this bike, exactly like I was with the Phaser, to be honest, I was always feeling like the bike was under-geared. It was revving too high. Now on the Phaser, when I changed the gearing, and I went 2 teeth up on the front, 2 teeth down on the back, which was a massive change, but still worked for me. But as soon as I made that change, it was obvious to see the difference because the speedo comes off of the front wheel. But for a set speed, I found that after the change, the revs dropped by 1,000 RPM, and that was great because I could obviously see the difference, that for a set speed the engine was working less hard, spinning less fast. Now on the Versys, the speed and the tacho come from the front sprocket, so what that means is the gearing is now different, but the part that drives the speed and the tacho information is the same. So for example, I'm doing 45 kilometers an hour at 2,500 RPM. Now before the sprocket change, at 45 kilometers an hour, the tacho would have read exactly the same at 2,500 RPM. The only thing that's actually changed is the actual speed that I'm doing, which, to check, I'm going to have to use GPS, but very cleverly, I haven't brought my phone holder today, so I'll have to do that another time. From reading on the Versys forum, versys.co.uk, a few other people have used the same gearing, and what they found is that their speedo is now almost exactly accurate. Before it was about 10% under, now it's exactly accurate. The only way to really gauge the difference is to kind of ignore the speedo and just go with how it feels. And in that respect, I have to say the gearing seems to make a lot more sense. I'm not changing gear nearly as much as I was before. Just it seems to me it makes the gears a lot more usable, and a few people would argue that in reducing the acceleration, you're taking away some of the, I don't know, some of the pizzazz of the bike, some of the magic. But I think the engine in this bad boy, the same engine that's in the Vulcan, the ER6, the Ninja 650, is a fantastic engine. It's been tuned for the Versys for more mid-range torque And I think there's plenty there. It doesn't need to be as geared as high as it is. It just meant the bike felt really buzzy. I mean, this was something that really bugged me on my trip to the UK and back. The bike always seemed like I was just revving it too high. On the motorway, it was caning its poor little tits off. So now hopefully that's not going to be the case. I mean, it's a bit of a compound effect. I'm noticing vibrations a lot less. I mean, but that's hand in hand with the new chain, which now is no longer flapping around like a windsock in a hurricane. But altogether, I like the way it feels, I like the way it's performing. So for anybody thinking of changing the gearing on your Versys, yeah, shut your face. I think 43 teeth on the back is as extreme as I've known it go. And as a result, the normal chain on the Versys has 114 links. But the one I bought had 112. So the bean counters among you will say, well, that's 2 links saved. 2 links and the weight of 2 links as well. All good. But yeah, the point I'm trying to get across here is that 43 teeth on the back. I've got no real noticeable, no real noticeable drop in the torque or power of the bike. It doesn't feel like I've smothered the power. It doesn't feel like I've crippled the bike. It's still working just wonderfully. But overall, I'm really happy with it, and I'm really looking forward to giving it a proper good test out on the motorway, out on the open roads, see how much of a difference it's made. The chain and sprockets are well and truly tested. I'm really happy with them. Bike feels smooth, feels responsive. It's exactly what I wanted. Take care and I'll see you around. Thanks for watching. Ta-ra.